Wine lover Monty has decided to up sticks and move to a stunning area of southwest France.
All made from local fruit, and it's all organic. That's delicious.
Monty's cashed in every last penny of his savings for a big lifestyle change. But his real dream is to take the French on at their own game and try and produce a quaffable red wine with a big difference. His will be Biodynamic.
Biodynamics is harnessing cosmic planetary forces into your vineyard, into your plants to make them receptive to beneficial energies.
Yes. He's taken over an idyllic 5.5-acre organic vineyard with an outbuilding overlooking the Pyrenees.
Ah, this is stunning. It's a dream come true.
But he couldn't persuade his Italian girlfriend Silvana to join him.
So what about the toilet? I cannot see any place.
There isn't a toilet. Well, there isn't
a
toilet. What's wrong with that?
So, in need of some hired help, he's training up a complete novice. His challenge is to convert 34-year-old Lindsay Bissett from a Birmingham city girl into a biodynamic vineyard assistant.
Well, it's not what I'm used to, but I'm really, really loving it.
This week, Lindsay gets to grips with the delights of biodynamic farming.
So I would suggest you just put a bit in your hand to get over your irrational fear of manure.
Come on. I'm going to go under my nails now.
I don't care about that. Hi, it's Monty.
Monty gets help with his renovation project.
Oh my God, there is a bit of work here.
Sows the first seeds of his self-sufficiency scheme.
Well, it's always been my dream to put my own food and my own wine on the table.
But a health scare jeopardizes Monty's dreams.
I just didn't expect to be on a knife edge so early on.
February in the Pyrenees. Charming. The suspicious villagers of Saint-Martin-de-Fenouillet are still a bit twitchy over the English incomers. Even the athletic mayor is a bit curious. Monty and Lindsay have successfully moved into a little house together. And they've been joined by Monty's dog, Harry.
But this is what I like about it, it's really quiet.
Yeah.
You get a nice little view down that way as well.
Okay.
In a bid to make a good impression with the locals, Lindsay has started French lessons.
How are you? Yes! Brilliant!
Her teacher, Veronica, another expat, has lived here for 5 years. She also knows everything that goes on.
Obviously not knowing what the villagers say. What's their thoughts on what Monty's doing with his project? And do they say much? Or?
Well, there's this slightly puzzled, slightly amused, mad English. You know, they would do that, wouldn't they? And the idea that this Englishman's just come from nowhere to grow these biodynamic grapes.
Yeah.
They think perhaps it's probably totally balmy, but
there's quite a bit of gossip that goes on, isn't there?
Everybody knows everybody really, really well.
Oh, really?
They just know everything about you by now, you know.
Oh, really?
Oh, gosh, there will be no secrets, you know. They'll know the colour of your underwear by now, don't worry. So what can you say in French?
Well, I can say bonjour, au revoir.
Monty, meanwhile, is in the vineyard mixing something up.
These are female cow horns, and the idea is to take some cow shit and actually put it in the horn, and you have to stuff it in a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we'll dig a hole and bury this for 6 months.
Lovely.
Oh, just the man. Oh God, I'm covered in shit. Not a good start to my... Ah, bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur le maire.
Bonjour.
Oui, désolé. Alors, qu'est-ce que vous faites?
C'est pas un problème, voilà.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
Eh bien, moi, j'ai entendu que tu étais là. Je passais pour voir si tout va bien pour toi.
So he's been very kind, actually, the mayor. He's come out to make sure I'm okay and everything's going all right.
Je vais continuer dans les collines.
Merci, merci beaucoup. Thank you. Oh dear, I did feel a bit of a plonker, covered in shit. So hopefully he's not going to think I'm a complete nutter.
Of course not, dear boy. It's far too early. But Monty's raring to go. His lunar and planetary calendar dictates that today is the day to prune the vineyard.
Come on. Lindsay? Are you alive? What do you mean, no? Go on, Harry, get on there, killer. Go on, go on. Harry, can you get her out of bed, please? Because I'm not having much success.
Lindsay is somewhat less bothered by Pluto's precise position. Adding to Monty's struggles is a bad back.
I pulled it, basically. And I can't move. I'm very slow. I can walk, but I'm very, very slow. It's a nightmare.
But the planets are clearly in the right place. Andre, the athletic mayor, has a welcome gift Monty simply can't refuse.
Bonjour, Monty. It's unbelievable. I mean, to be given a van for a euro, and it's a really nice van as well.
It was originally destined for the scrap heap, which comes as no surprise to Lindsay.
Is this safe?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
So that's going to fall to pieces in there.
Well, I'm going to fall to pieces in a minute, but you're not. Or this fan isn't. Oh, Jesus. I don't think he likes the truck very much. Harry, it's okay, okay? Harry! Hey!
With the transport problem sorted, there's now the pruning to tackle. And it has to be done to a tight schedule.
Well, the pruning is timed to the lunar cycle, and the lunar cycle I'm working to is called the descending moon. And as well as changing shape in the sky each night, the moon moves up and down. And when it's moving down, it's like a 2-week period. And all the energy is going down into the ground, which means all the energy is concentrated in the roots. So by snipping off the top part of the vine, I'm not losing anything.
Lunar cycle, more like lunatic cycle. Lindsay doesn't do gardening, so for her benefit, Monty has organised for a helpful Dutch chap, Joop Grela, to give her a lesson in pruning.
This is Lindsay, my assistant.
Joop, nice to meet you.
Pruning A to Z. How do I do it? What do we do?
The berries will only grow on last year's wood.
Harry, come on, shut up. We're trying to learn how to prune, you little idiot. Come on. Oh, God.
Look, Harry wants to learn how to do it.
No.
There's one bottle of wine you've just been eating.
Harry, I'm sending you an invoice, okay? And then...
I thought you'd just come along and like snip, 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 and that's that. I didn't think you'd have to sort of think about the dynamics of snipping.
But the lesson doesn't get very far before Monty's bad back finally gives way.
You okay?
Quite clearly, the planetary gods aren't looking down on Monty. By the end of the day, the pruning is left unfinished. Monty is in need of help. Down at the osteopath's.
Does this look what I think it looks like? He wasn't happy that I was even attempting to prune. He was a little bit unhappy about that.
It's so serious, the osteopath has told Monty to do nothing for at least a week. It's a complete disaster.
I just didn't expect to be on a knife edge so early on in my project.
Monty Walding's living out his dream to produce his own biodynamic French red wine and show the locals he can do better. But the Englishman's had a major setback. While pruning the vineyard, his back collapsed, leaving thousands of vines still to do. Monty now has to fork out hard cash for local workers to help his vineyard assistant, Lindsay, complete the job.
Mon assistant. Salut pas. Bonjour. Bonjour. Ça c'est Lindsay. And this is the last day that I can prune under the right moon, so. But that's farming, you go at the mercy of the elements, you know, you can't complain about it, it's just you have to accept it, but Harry, if you don't shut up, I'm going to prune your legs off, okay? Oh, f off, Harry.
While Lindsay finishes the pruning, Monty has arranged to meet up with two local property developers.
My name's Monty.
Hi, I'm John.
Hello, nice to meet you, John.
Hi, this is Peter.
Hello, Peter. Hi there. This is Harry.
John and Peter have lived here for 5 years and have experience at doing up rundown houses.
I've got this little cabin. The idea is that I'm going to do a bit of renovation and have it like as a barbecue area and also somewhere to sleep before harvest.
Oh my God. Yeah. There is a bit of work here.
Do you know someone who might be able to?
Yeah, one of the problems is we know through experience French builders are booked up about a year in advance.
Really?
So you're going to have a problem there. But we do have a friend, Andy, who's a builder, who might be able to help you.
Is he dodgy?
No, he's not dodgy at all. He's a really good builder, and he's
Right.
done some work on our house as well.
Where's
so.
he from then?
He's from Birmingham originally, but he lives just in the Fenway.
Yeah, that lady who's helping me. She's from Birmingham.
Oh God.
Sounds like these two could be just what Monty's looking for.
Would you like to come if you come round for dinner?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be nice, thanks.
And then we can,
Great.
because we don't really know anybody around here, so.
No.
And we're not very nice either, so we're going to find it hard to make friends, aren't we?
Lindsay has a suspicion about the two lads.
I said they're a couple, and Monty's saying they're not, but you can tell that they're a couple.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they could be, but I don't know though. How would I know?
Nice.
How would I know though? I mean, you know, Harry could look at us and say we're a couple, but we're not. Oh, well, they walk around together and they, you know.
No, but you can just tell. But you'll see tomorrow night when they come around for dinner. And I'll prove you right.
The following night, it's all hands to Monty's pump. 2 village people are expected any moment.
I think we're running out of time.
Salt? Where's the salt? Well, you have to use this one. Monty, what are you cooking?
It's an Italian dish called spaghetti alla puttanesca, and I've chosen it because it's got anchovies in it, and anchovies are a big part of Roussillon cuisine. It's very Mediterranean. It comes from Sicily, this recipe, but it's basically Mediterranean. Now, Lindsay, I've got to give you a tip on pouring wine. That's way too full, buddy.
Oh, there you are.
Right, hang on.
What's
But Monty's a bit of a stickler when it comes to wine etiquette.
Lindsay, don't overfill it.
Sorry,
no, but it's really
telling me off
annoying.
for overfilling. Wait.
Because you know, otherwise I'd be absolutely faced after 5 minutes. If we're going to taste 6 different wines, no, but it's not funny.
No, all right.
Well, that's one way to welcome your guests.
Bread for you.
Tonight is a celebration. It's Lindsay's birthday.
You'll never come back to the quality of the food, but...
And Monty gets the chance to show his feminine side.
Oh, is that for me?
Happy birthday, class.
Oh.
Ah.
Thank you so much. Oh.
Well, I mean, it's a good way to learn. They're all words for you, like washing machine, cleaning,
Clean.
alarm clock, cookies.
It's now spring in the Pyrenees. How charming. Monty, thankfully, is fit again and can now turn his attention to his plans for self-sufficiency. At the village allotments, Monty intends to use the same biodynamic methods as he's using in the vineyard. That means more of that moon and planet stuff, which for Lindsay is all a bit much.
I really still can't go with the flow of this biodynamics. I just can't. It's a bit mad, isn't it? Bonjour.
Lindsay's been sent off to see Serge, the local farmer, for a key ingredient.
Bonjour, ça va? Bonjour, ça va?
Unfortunately, she still has a very limited French vocabulary.
I've come to...
Cowpats don't feature in her birthday book.
Right. So here we go. Oh.
Serge has been farming all his life and normally leaves the cowpats where they drop.
Merci.
Serge doesn't only keep cows.
Oh, aren't they lovely? Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, hello. I just think they're gorgeous. They really are. You see, they're so sweet. How could you sit and enjoy a Sunday roast lamb again after looking at it? Oh, okay. Oh.
Back at the allotments, the locals are somewhat bemused. This is a first, watching an Englishman half bury a barrel. Well, I suppose he knows what he's doing.
I'm back.
Lindsay imagined her education in winemaking was to be about drinking the stuff, but she and her false nails hadn't bargained on making a biodynamic compost.
Come on, you got to get in. Lindsay, you can't just look at it and be fearful.
There's nothing to worry about, look. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's clean, it's healthy, it's full of life. Come on, don't be. You're gonna piss me off if you behave like a kid. Come on.
Well, no, I don't really like. So I don't.
There's nothing wrong with it. You shit every day, mate. Come on.
Right, what do we do?
I want you to get right in there.
It's all going to go under my nails and everything.
I don't care about that. I want you to get in there, get out, go over your poncy kind of city-dwelling, fear-factoring.
I've got my hands in.
You know, you've got to grasp the fact that we're farming, okay? The little lamb that you saw today is going to get eaten, okay? This is shit, and it's a fundamental part of biodynamics.
Right, is that good enough for you?
Just about, yeah.
The remaining ingredients are some herbs. According to Monty's book on biodynamics, they provide a cosmic gateway so planetary forces can act on growing plants.
This whole barrel compost is an earth remedy, so it makes sense to make it on an earth day when the moon is in Virgo. So Virgo's an earth sign, yeah?
Lindsay, not surprisingly, is beginning to wonder what she's let herself in for.
Well, the things that obviously we've been doing, you know, to me a bit, you know, a little slightly mad. And I don't think that doing what we've done is going to make, you know, a major difference.
Does my bum look big in this?
Yes.
Lindsay's biodynamic conversion is just not happening.
Yeah, this could be a long job.
Her hopes for an idyllic French lifestyle are being dominated by Monty's obsession.
I'm looking at... Hang on, I've got...
Yeah, this is not a non-stick pan, is it? Oh, we haven't got any bread, by the way.
There is some bread. There's on the table. It's right behind you.
It's right, Carl. I could knock you out with it.
You know that's an offensive weapon in France.
In fact, if you carry on going on about that, I think I will do.
Well, I've got to do the transplant, Lindsay.
Boring me to tears this morning.
It's not boring. If we don't have any vegetables, we're not going to eat, are we?
Well, you put me off this morning, banging on about Sagittarius in the moon, up in the sky. I don't know. Whatever you're on about.
But Monty's not going to let a sceptical city girl get in the way of his dreams for self-sufficiency.
3 types of lettuce, eggplant, some peppers, cucumbers. I'm getting a lot of satisfaction knowing that I'm going to make my own pesto from my own basil later on this year.
He's planned everything down to the last detail. Today, his lunatic calendar has told Monty it's time to do the planting. Monty's always accepted that training Lindsay up would be a bit of a challenge.
That's not digging a hole, that's scraping a hole like a dog, isn't it? I mean...
Right, what were you showing me how to do it then?
Have you never dug a hole before?
No.
Have you never seen anybody dig a hole before?
But now he realises employing a complete novice is proving to be a disaster.
Harry, why don't you try that one for size? What I would do if it was me, I like doing it like that, okay? Because you've got your weight against.
Yeah,
so what you might want to do
side,
is, yeah.
This looks absolutely terrible. I actually feel quite ashamed that I can't even hammer a nail in at this point. It's really quite embarrassing. Ooh.
Kind of the idea of having Lindsay here was to kind of lighten the load, and unfortunately, kind of every job, you know, no matter how small, I'm kind of having to hold her hand, and it is sort of taking twice as long. Don't be afraid of it. Just you're in control. You know, if we're overrunning on jobs, that's going to end up costing money, which is a real big issue for me. And I just think I'm going to have a word with her, really.
The next day, Lindsay is due to go home for the Easter break. But what Monty has to say comes completely out of the blue.
You know, you're supposed to be here to help me, to make my load lighter, and you're making my load heavier. I want you to gain from it, Lindsay. I want you to make that change in your life, and I just feel that you haven't been able to do that yet. When I picked you, I knew kind of what I was getting. I knew I wasn't getting a gardening expert, okay? I knew I wasn't getting a wine expert. I knew I wasn't getting a biodynamic expert. But for me, I wanted to take that challenge, okay? But I want you to only come back if you're going to pull your weight.
Okay, I understand. Well, I wasn't aware that we had such a problem as we have. Just I'm a little bit shocked at the outburst there, that's all.
Next time, Monty has big regrets.
You know, I was pretty strong, a bit too hard, I think, with that.
And Lindsay fights back.
I am going to go back to France and, you know, I'm going to go back and I'm going to really try this time.
And if she doesn't, there are no more excuses, I'm afraid. She'll have to go.
You know, I'm just not going to let him get the best of me anyway.
If Monty's inspired you to make your dream move abroad, go to channel4.com/4homes to find out how you can make it happen.